So a few thoughts real quick. Something that I learned, something I realized. Got a frog in my throat. For anyone in the faith, maybe you're new to the faith, in fact, it actually took me years to really cultivate, call it knowledge, call it a life lesson, is that in my experience, there's a difference between an atheist and an anti-theist, right? Most atheists that I've met, right, no big deal, right? It's no, never mind. Folks, in my experience, it's the anti-theists, the angry, the ones that shout, the ones that are condescending. To be fair, those folks are not representative of the whole. They're really not. Again, like I said, they're anti-theists. They're not just atheists, right? They actually have an axe to grind against religion, and usually it's Christianity, although, those in the Western world live in the Western world, so it's to be expected. And, yeah, I can get into my feelings once in a while. It's not as bad as it used to be because, I just try to remind myself that, folks, those folks are still made in the image of God. They just are. And one thing I've learned about human beings is that my behavior always says more about me than it does about anybody else. Their behavior says more about them. And it may sound cliche, I can pretty much guarantee you, again, this is my life experience, that they're angry because something happened to them, right? Something took place in their life that made them angry. And, I've met a few, I've known, a lot of them will say that, well, it didn't make them angry, it enlightened them. I don't believe that. They were traumatized. And please believe me when I tell you, I'm not trying to belittle anybody. Not at all, right? This is just how I see it. This is just how I see it. I do think it's irresponsible. I mean, if I'm hurt, then I have a responsibility to deal with my trauma and not take it out on other people or concepts. Nonetheless, that is my experience. That's what's going on, right? And the angriest voices are always the loudest. And that's, like, for me, this channel even, right? This is not, I don't plan on ever critiquing somebody else's videos, right? That's not what I'm here to do. This channel is me just sharing my life experiences. The comments will be filled with hate, with support, with indifference. That's okay. I don't expect everyone to agree with me, right? Even when people get angry with me, with us, about our faith in Christ, and it does take a lot of work, or it can take a lot of work. It can take, a lot of practice. We need to do our best to be gracious to everyone, including the anti-theist, including the angry atheist. We got to be careful not to throw pearls before swine, right? That doesn't mean we have to react. That doesn't mean, their behavior, that behavior is about them. It's coming from them, right? It's usually not a head problem. It's a heart problem, right? And this is really, you go outside of religion for this. So, especially on YouTube, when I come across that, and by the way, I rarely ever watch videos of anti-theists anymore. I used to, but I realize that it's kind of a waste of time, to be honest. I would never debate one because it would just be, when I see an anti-theist debating a Christian, even for the Christian, it seems like everybody's just spinning their wheels. I think it's a waste of time, because it usually devolves into something else beyond a debate. It just devolves, it just decays. So, a discussion with somebody, even a brother and sister in Christ, should just be, again, we're looking at this academically, like, this is what I believe, this is why I believe it, this is my experience with it, tell me what you believe, what is your experience with it, why do you believe what and thank you for the discussion, have a nice day. When anger rears its head, again, there's a heart problem taking place. And that's why often I've learned too is that oftentimes throwing facts and figures at people, again, it could be any subject matter beyond religion, throwing facts and figures at people, if there's anger, if there's a heart problem involved, it's, those facts and figures are going to bounce right off. I'm not doing any good. I'm just wasting my breath. The feelings have to be addressed first. The heart has to be addressed. And that can be and some people just, it's, for some folks, it's just never going to happen. So at the end of the day, again, we're all made in the image of God. We all deserve, and well, maybe not even deserve. I mean, we could say deserve, but let's give each other some grace. All right? It takes practice. It's easy for us to perform knee-jerk decisions, and because I think it's human nature, right? You hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you back. You say something ugly about me, I'm going to say something ugly about you. It's not Christ-like behavior. So I think that's about it for this one. Take care.